Fire noise.
Fire noise.
10 seconds of silence.
Get ready to burn, baby.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 22-4 of the STS Guys. I am Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And I'm Scott.
And we are the STS Guys, a weekly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What is going on this week, guys?
Oh, you know, it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Even before we get to it's been a week, I know exactly one thing I'm going to do. I said between now and the next couple of weeks, okay. I'm going to hire someone on Fiverr to make a Mike's Out Sex song.
Ooh, that is true. Good call.
We need them.
We need a Mike's Out Sex song.
We need to make it like a country song too. I think that's the only thing we really are missing so far. So find like a country singer.
I think that might work. I like it.
Yeah.
Ed's calling you out because you didn't update the description. At least on
did I?
Yeah, it said we're back from San Diego.
Oh,
again.
I mean, accurate. We are back from San Diego,
yes,
but that was
like not a lie. We are back.
A month and a half ago.
I don't know how that happened because I grabbed it from our most recent stream. So
I think you did it last time too.
Oh, whoops.
That's okay.
That's what happens when you just copy and paste.
It's all good. What's up, Ed? Yeah, we skipped last week because Jeremy was doing cool guy stuff. And the other three of us decided there was nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
because that
really happens every now and then.
Just give me something to talk about.
But after we get through, it's been a week. Like, there's a lot of stuff today. You know, there's D23 announcements. We're still watching She-Hulk. Like, there's a decent amount of stuff, man. So it should be a good episode. But what about you guys? What have you been up to,
dude? Like, my week has been incredibly boring just because it's just been slammed at work. Like with work stuff. Like
work has taken over most of the week. So yeah, haven't really done a whole lot over the last 2 weeks. Haven't really bought anything.
I did get a hot toy though. Like I said,
hey.
Well, so we play the music.
Okay, give me a second. I gotta find it. There it is.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That was hot. That's hot. That is really hot.
We got the Iron Man. I said it was Mark 85 holographic. Like,
yeah,
pretty awesome.
Was that the San Diego Comic Con exclusive?
It was the San Diego Comic Con exclusive. So
nice.
that finally came. Like, I wasn't too sure. Like I said about the promo photos, but like I said, once I got it in hand, like, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, at this point, you just need all the Iron Men. You can.
I need all of the Iron Mens. Yeah, all of the Iron Men.
Cool. I mean, Hot Toys, right? Sideshow. They don't make bad figures most of the time. So
no, they don't make bad figures. But I do have to laugh at this, right? So, like, it's just funny, right? Like I said, the commonalities you see between, like I said, like different collector communities and things like that, right? Yeah. So we know the Funko fan base is very vocal whether they like something or don't like something. Like, for example, like, the bots and like this, that, and the other, right? Like,
God, they sell out in 15 seconds.
Yeah. Robble, right?
Robble. Yeah.
The Hot Toys community, like I said, is very much similar. Like I said, in terms of, like I said, being vocal about stuff, and some of it's valid, right? Like, so, like, case in point is they released. I said they back in the day they released the Iron Man Mark V. The Mark V, right, is the suitcase suit from Iron Man 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, like I said, it's the silver and the silver and red one, right? So then I said, because it was super, super popular, I said it's sold out. And then, you know what? A few years later, I said that up until recently, they reissued it. I'm like, hey, great. They reissued it.
Yeah.
So they reissued this 2 months ago. That one's sold out. now they're reissuing it again with an exclusive diorama base. It is, I said, to see basically the conversations that people have, I said, about this are incredibly funny. Because there's so many people that are just so angry about like everything. I'm like, it's just not that big a deal. Like at the end of the day, I'm like, it's just a collective, like it's just a thing. Like
it's a statue.
It's a figure, right? Like there's like death threats going on in the forums.
God.
Like oh, it's crazy. Like all over basically said reissuing instead of figure. Like it's hilarious.
Which is okay. I mean, they're a company, right? Profit.
Well, and I think the funny thing is, right, is like I said, if you don't like it, just don't buy it. Like it's not that big a deal. Like so, like for example, I'm happy that I got the reissue just because like I said when it originally came out, I wasn't collecting Hot Toys at that time. Yeah. So like I got the opportunity. I'm like I lucked out and I got the opportunity to buy it. But now people are insane.
You bring this up, but I have to say, like, it brings into the question, right? Like, I don't know a collector community of any kind, and even like music goes the same way, right? Like people in their genre of music, where there is not some universal complaint that somebody has about the thing that they supposedly love. Like, can you not just be happy and like enjoy and thing? But like, do you have to have a butt that goes into like, right? Like, I love Hot Toys, but you can't just stop with the I love Hot Toys and just be like, oh, I like the ones I have, right? Like,
it's just you
bring up a point. Like, I can't think of a collector community that doesn't have like one commonality gripe that everyone bitches about and starts to get complaints about.
Yeah, it's just funny. But here, let me show. I said like
right.
Part of me gets it, right? but the other part of me is like who cares?
Yeah, right.
So this is the this is the reissue, right? Like I said, it literally is the same exact figure as I said when they released it. I think like 6-7 years ago. They released this like back when like Iron Man 2 came out.
It's been quite a while.
It's been a legit while. Like it's a cool.
It's a cool figure. That is an awesome set. I remember that was the first one where I saw like an RDJ head sculpt on this one. That was like, oh damn,
like
that is
like it's pretty cool. But yeah, and then this is the new figure. Like so different and so it literally comes with all the same accessories. Just the diorama base. Just
the base with the broken car, right? The broken F1 car.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, like apparently this means like lodging like death threats against the company.
Now here's the question: are they charging more for it now that it comes with the diorama base, or is it the same price as the original?
Yeah.
So then
the pricing hasn't come out yet. I think, but it'll probably be it'll be a little bit more.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Is like it's going to be more. So I guess the question is: are the people bitching because they have to pay and get the base, or the fact that when they bought it 6 years ago, it didn't come with the base?
Like,
because my guess is that a lot of people are bitching that it didn't come with the base, and now there's this awesome base.
So like it's not even that, right? It's because I said people go through and like it hurts their resale value.
Oh
like,
no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh,
it's more just the fact that you can buy it again.
Yeah. It's the fact that you can buy it again.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find one that actually has a diorama base. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is right here. Yeah. So it'll probably be about this price, right? Because this, like I said, they just reissued. This is another one they reissued, right? Which funny thing is, like same diorama base, they just changed the top of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, reuse some of it.
Yeah. I mean, makes sense.
But okay. So that's the other question. Is like, you're mad about the resale value. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, honestly, like, you're reselling it. You're reselling. You're trying to bleed a profit out of people because of it. Like, do you think the company cares about you reselling it? Like they don't see any money out of the resale. But you know what they do? It shows that there's clearly a market for that figure. So yeah, they're gonna go if they have enough interest. Why don't they re-release it and they get the money for it, not the reseller?
That's the thing, right? Like it's like there's enough demand for it, so people buy it. Like so, if people weren't, and here's the thing, right? Because they keep up, like I said, all the collectors are saying, like, oh, you're ruining the hobby. You're doing that, like like you're just re-releasing stuff that so that then. I said they're not stupid. I'm like, if obviously someone's buying it.
Exactly.
And the question and that thing, like they said, oh, you're ruining the hobby. Please tell me how. Like it's not ruining the hobby because it's still collecting, and it's a chance for people to get it that didn't get it to do it before, right?
Yeah. So
it's not ruining the hobby; it's ruining your profit margins.
That's exactly. What
and honestly, like. If that's what your bitch is, leave. You're not a collector at that point. Like, fuck off with that. Don't try to code it with some collector bullshit. That's not what it is.
This one, like the original one's been out, like we said, 5-6 years. Like it's been out a long time. If you're mad about the value of that out, like after 5 or 6 years because you can't sell it and you've been holding it for that long, like I mean, sucks for you, man. You should have sold it 4 years ago. But like. I mean, it's not a long-term investment, Hot Toys. Like, if that's your main, like, financial strategy, you're in the wrong.
Right? Exactly. And it just kind of shows that, like...
Same with Pops, man. Like, right? Like
anything with a major resale, like, area.
Yeah. Or just everything.
Needs to understand, like, that the company that makes those items does not see $1 from that resale market.
Yeah.
So they don't give a shit about your resale market other than to try to help push, like gauge what's people like what people want, right? Like, oh, these are the things that are up and selling a lot. Maybe we should make more of, right? Hey, Captain America's are really popular right now. Let's go ahead and make a new Captain America figure and get that out because that seems like it's pretty popular.
The funny thing is they just did like so for example, like so like everyone wanted, using the Captain America example, everyone wanted the Civil War, like the Captain America suit from Civil War, and they literally just re-released it, like because everyone's been clamoring. There's like, it's funny, right? Like so, like I've never really paid attention up until like the last couple of weeks. I said to like the comments, I said that people make, but then I don't know, I got into the comments and then I'm like, it was like a rabbit trail, and I started kind of just like reading through them. I'm like, man, these are like it's the same on the Funko side as it is on the Hot Store side. It's like crazy parallel. But no, there's this one guy who basically has, I said, literally every time Hot Toys posts something, he posts a GIF. He's like, re-release the Iron Man Mark III. Re-release the Iron Man Mark III. Like, and he's done this for like the past 2 years, and so they finally did it. I'm happy for that guy. Like he finally got his way. Like persistence pays off, but I don't know. It's funny. I know it's a crazy side tangent, but I'm like, it was like it's just crazy how people get like. I said, oh my, like don't get me wrong, I love my figures, I love my Funkos, I love my Hot Toys, but I'm like I said, I'm not gonna like launch death threats at a company
just because they ruined your potential
because they decided to make a business decision.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And here's the thing. So
whatever,
$450. Let's just say. Out of the gate, that thing is going to run at $450, right? Resale is probably what $800-900 is what they could probably logically get around with. So you're going to launch death threats because you can't make $400-ish off of a resale of an item. Like, I get that that's a lot of people, but dude, like, that's not a lot of money for a death threat, to be honest with you. like that's at the point where like you need to like reevaluate your priorities when a $400 payday is what is going to be like. That's what I'm going to death threat the company over.
Yeah, it's more like $300 after shipping and eBay fees because they keep on jacking those up.
It's true, right? Yeah, you got to cut into all that because again, it ain't legit on the resale. So
yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like it's funny, but anyways. But yeah, it's been from an outsider's perspective, it's been entertaining. I feel, and I said, I feel, right. And Scott, you said you'd appreciate this. I said Hot Toys needs to basically hire the person who hosts Wendy's social media accounts
To
on the
troll
Hot
those
Toys
people
one,
back.
just to troll everybody back, because I'm like, that would be amazingly awesome. So for anybody listening who doesn't know what we're talking about, I said if you ever want, like I said, some entertainment, go follow Wendys on social media. Just because it's the person, whoever runs their Twitter account will go and just troll everybody, and it's amazing.
One of my favorite ones was where somebody was like, too directly to the Wendys, and this is just an example, right? Where they're like, yo, Wendys, if you reply, like if the company replies this message, I'll go buy one of every item on the menu right now. And so they responded, right? And they said, you know, like, prove it or whatever. And they responded back with just like a garbage bag. And Wendy's was like, thanks for sharing your baby pictures. Is what they responded back. And the person came back and was like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, we try to keep it friendly, but we aren't here to get trashed by someone. Like, they are savage. They are hilarious.
Oh yeah,
they go after like McDonald's all the time.
Black Friday. I said need a copy and link. When the tweets are as broken as the ice cream machine.
Yeah,
they go after.
Oops.
Speaking
of Wendy's, have you guys tried the Rick and Morty menu items? I think they did it like last year.
They did, yeah.
But it's back, right? You can get there's 2 mellow yellow flavors and 2 sandwiches.
What?
There's like a breakfast sandwich, right? Is one of them?
No, it's like a chicken sandwich and a burger.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's great because it's coming out with the new season dropped. And
Sunday,
so they have the new drop.
The mellow yellow is okay. I didn't try the burger, but
for anyone, if you are enjoying Rick and Morty, or you like Justin Roiland's just general state of like
human person
does. There he has a video game company called Squanch Games, by the way, which comes up. But there's a new game called High on Life that is like a first-person shooter with him voicing one of the guns that like talks to you. That's coming out, and it is included with the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Comes out in like December, so it's going to be a ways away. But I know I'll be playing it. I've already preloaded it, so
like added it to your wish list.
Added it to the wish list, and like basically said like on day one, install this, right?
Yeah.
So
I want this game, please. That is cool. So Ed said, Ed's never watched Rick and Morty, but Mike McMahon, that guy. Star Trek Lower Decks is back for a third season.
I do enjoy the Lower Decks. It is a good take on Star Trek. A good geared towards adults cartoon set in the Star Trek universe. You can't go wrong. It's really good.
Yeah, very cool. Cool. I did 2 things. I went to Tucson Comic Con last weekend.
Whoa.
Because that's always a good time.
Hey, who was the guest of honor?
Who were the guests? What was the guest list?
Dude, it was thin, like very thin. Like they never have a big guest list, but it was very reduced. I'd say that the biggest guest, it was a comic book person who I can't think of their name right this second, so I'm going to talk really slow. It's not loading. I don't even think there were any actual celebrity and media guests. Like they usually had like 1 or 2, right? They had Jake the Snake, they had Ming Chen like a couple years ago, but they did not have much. Jim Shooter.
Oh,
Jim Shooter was the big name. Right? He did like some of the Secret Wars stuff. He did a lot of Marvel stuff around that time, like mid 80s. Jim Shooter was the big name.
I'm looking at the list, and so there's Patty
Really
Hawkins, who
No, that guy doesn't count. He's
that guy doesn't count. He's like the local dude, right?
yeah.
You
I'm
have
not going
Jim
to say anything
Fye.
bad about him, but no, he does not count.
Jim Fye, who he was the Statue of Liberty in Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah. When that's your big
and,
guess,
and it was also in a commercial for Hewlett Packard.
Yeah.
You have good old Chuck Williams.
I have
No idea who this guy is.
I mean, when you have to list the 1966 Batmobile.
Hey, that's the top
when your
billing.
celebrity guess.
That's the first car. That's top billing.
It's cool. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I see what you say. Yeah, it's first on the list. I did see the 1966 Batmobile. It was cool. There was a line for people wanting to take pictures with it. There is a very long, right? It's a pretty decent list here of comic book and artist creators, which they always have. They always have like a really good artist's alley. It takes up like a big chunk of that exhibit floor. You know, it's a lot of local people, but still, like it's quantity.
Oh,
It is.
Michael. I said Michael Bean was like that would have been awesome. Like I said, Michael Bean was supposed to be there.
Canceled.
Yeah.
Canceled. Yeah, see, that would have been that's the big star. Yeah, Moret Michaels. I'm trying to look and see.
The original John Connor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it wasn't. It was thin. But it, you know, the one thing I always appreciate about Tucson Comic Con is that everybody there always seems like they're having a really good time. So awesome. That's most important. And it was like I went there Sunday afternoon. I got there at like 1.
Was it pretty packed?
It was packed. It was more packed than I've ever seen at Tucson Comic Con. This would be like my 3rd, I think. There's a lot of people there. I was impressed. So everybody was there. They were having a really good time. So that's, you know, that's important. I had this great idea of signing up to host a panel. So I hosted a panel for the first time. Sort of. I mean, this is me. Come on. Like I didn't actually do anything, right? Like I totally winged it. But so, you know, I was thinking like,
we need details.
I want to do like a podcast, something. I didn't want to do a podcast by myself because that would be weird. I didn't really want to do anything, right? Put any effort into this. So I decided like we should have like an Arizona podcasters meetup, and anybody who has a podcast can just casually stop on by and say hi. And like, I'll leave your podcast a 5-star review on iTunes, and we'll all just like say hi and meet some other people who podcast. So that's what I did. And surprisingly, a few people showed up. So that part was great. It was cool. I got to hang out and talk podcasts for, 30, 45 minutes, whatever it was. And then I headed home back to Phoenix.
So I'm going to hit the button here in just a second. I got to find the other one here.
Oh, yeah.
You dropped it. But
the A word.
Yeah. So for obligatory.
Arizona smells funny.
At any point did you mention that for almost 2 years we were not in Arizona but a Texas podcast?
Yeehaw!
Well done. I mean, like sort of like I said, it was super casual. Shout out to the two that I remember, right? So Vicky Land from the Speculative Sandbox podcast and Sean from the People's Forum. People's Forum is very Marvel heavy. Like they talked about like She-Hulk and that kind of stuff. So shout out to those guys. But like one of them somebody asked me, like, cause I just start off like, I'm talking about us, right? Like, I'm like, we do this, we do that. And they're like, well, you keep saying we, is there like more than one of you? I'm like, oh, pause. Yeah. So like, it's me. And then Scott and Jeremy are in Austin and Mike somewhere in Pennsylvania. And I spent the last 2 years in Austin, but yeah, like, I don't know, whatever. Like we're in Arizona. Like I was physically in Arizona at the moment. So totally counts.
Hey, we're a nationwide podcast.
Yes, we're well represented. 3 time zones. Yeah, we're all over America. But yeah, it was a good time. I'm not sure if it would be something I would do again, but it was a good time. So shout out to Tucson Comic Con for letting me do that. And I was a special guest on Genre Geeks, their podcast. They invited me to come on and talk about podcasting. So that was a very good time. Shout out to AJ. That's up on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. But like, it was very much just origin story, like us talking about podcasts, talking about, you know, that kind of stuff, talking about Texas, and because they're in Texas as well. So it was a good time.
Nice.
It's been a little while since
Yeah,
I was on a podcast. And
You say that we used to go crowd around a table in Jeremy's living room.
yes, yeah, kitchen. Right? First time. Yeah, it was one mic in the kitchen. Their origin was very similar. It was, you know, one mic in somebody's kitchen. You know, but you got to start. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and then you upgrade, you know, to the library.
Yeah,
The library was the best
I
one.
didn't bring that up.
As much as we laugh about that, it worked very well until we had the lady in the room next to us that was talking the loudest I've ever heard
In a library.
on a phone in a library, where you could hear it through the walls and the mics were picking it up. That's how bad that lady was talking in a library.
We probably only did that like 3 or 4 times.
It's like 4.
But
Yeah,
it feels like
4 times.
we'll have more than that. And my God, that was forever ago.
Yeah,
It was.
we all carried our cases into the library. Went into
Yeah.
got a room reserved.
Had to reserve the room ahead of time. That was
Plopped down for an hour and did our thing.
awesome. During work hours.
We're not mentioning
Good times. Good times. I mean, it was an extended lunch break.
It was an extended lunch break.
Yeah, good times, man. Yeah, so I did that too. So shout out to Genre Geeks. Go check them out. Talking Pops. Talking Pops had their 300th episode. I feel like we'll talk about that again when Mike's on. But yeah, they're I guess they're done, or like, you know, they're semi-infrequent going forward.
Yeah.
So shout out to those guys. I mean, it's a little sad because it's kind of wrapping up, but at the same time, like 300 is a really cool accomplishment. So yeah, shout out to Mike and Josh.
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah. So I don't know. What did you guys do today? Have you been keeping up with those D23 announcements?
Segue like a motherfucker.
Trying,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Trying.
Hey, real quick, Scott. That's one of the. I said I knew you were wearing a hat, but nice haircut.
Thank you, sir.
Ooh,
Yep,
ooh,
you know.
very nice.
So yeah, again, something during work hours, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get lunch, and I went to go get a mod pizza, and the building next door was Great Clips, and they had like a 3-minute wait. So I just logged in online, went in, got the haircut, took like 15 minutes, got my pizzas, and then went home. It was great.
Scott's hair was pretty bad.
It was real
Was it?
bad.
That's pretty
It was getting to the point where I was like, I can't do like my spike anymore because it's too heavy and it would just fall down. So I was like, I was almost have to reconsider, like, I'm gonna have to get a new hairstyle, like, because it's so long. I don't know how to do anything other than wear a hat.
Like he was maybe like 2 weeks away from a man bun.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I could almost get it back. Yeah.
That's
it was getting real bad. I went.
Well, I did see
while.
you. I saw you briefly because I was in Austin.
I was wearing a hat.
But
in
yeah,
the
I was going to say
office.
you were wearing a hat.
'Cause-
I feel like we've been on some calls together too, like work calls, and you were wearing a hat. So
It got
makes
to the
sense.
point where, like, so I used to have really long hair. Like back in college, I had long hair, and it was there's this point when you have long hair, and I'm sure this applies to girls too, but I'm gonna say as a guy with long hair, like, so when you first start to grow it out, there's a point where there's so much that goes inside the hat that your hats don't fit right anymore.
Okay.
And so you have to let it kind of grow out so it comes out the sides and you can kind of like get it to fit again. I was getting to the point where the hats weren't fitting and then they were starting to fit better a little bit. I was like, oh no, it's time to go get that trim.
Nice. Well, excellent use of an extended lunch break.
Yep.
Right next
It
to
wasn't even that much longer than it normally would have been.
Yeah, I
Place
mean, no
your order,
wine or whatever.
Go
Yeah,
get the head cut. And then while they were making the order, I got it done and then went and got the food. It would have probably taken me almost the same time just to wait for the food.
perfect.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You got to look fresh in case, like I said, you run into any of our glorious, politicians, for our upcoming trip next week.
Yeah.
Outside the Capitol building.
I figure like we're going on a trip. I should at least look not homeless on a business trip. So
Yes, probably.
that was my push was like I should probably not look like I should get questioned by the FBI while I'm walking around their building.
I got to a point. I was shaming Scott.
Yeah.
on his hair.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So cool. So, all right. So, Larry.
Segway. Anyways.
I must say, we went Segway D23. So, let's talk about D23 because
there's a lot, man.
Surprisingly, a lot this year.
Yeah. Disney animated stuff, Star Wars stuff, Marvel stuff, a little bit of everything. I mean, but it's all the stuff we love because Disney owns it all.
Yep. There are overlords.
Kind of,
yeah.
I mean, Disney Plus, man.
Yeah. So one thing that I said I was kind of, like I said, excited, but also kind of disappointed at the same point in time to see basically I said who they have lined up, basically who the Thunderbolts. I said they launched basically who the Thunderbolts are going to be.
Yeah, that was cool.
All the people that we haven't seen for a while, pretty much.
But it's I don't know. I don't see them as a Thunderbolts team. Like for example, like hey, U.S. Agent makes sense because I'm like, hey, but then you have Red Guardian. So basically you have like two Captain America, essentially two Captain America like characters. Like
three if you really count Bucky.
Winter Soldier. And you have Bucky too. Like
so you have 3 super soldiers, 4 technically because you got Taskmaster in there, who's in there. You got Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus is there. I'm missing one. Why am I?
Elena.
Elena.
Yeah. So I'm assuming, right? I said they have to have like a Hulk type figure. I'm like, so no, I'm hoping they said that happens like actually in the movie. If you don't have, a Hulk type figure like I said in the Thunderbolts, it's gonna be kind of disappointing. So,
maybe that's where they'll bring in Red Hulk.
Yeah, I'm hoping they bring in Red Hulk. I said during that time.
Or I mean, that could be a She-Hulk thing too, right? Or something in between now and then.
I would be pissed. Like I said, honestly, as a fan, I would be pissed if it would be She-Hulk.
Oh no, I don't mean actually not She-Hulk herself, but like maybe Red Hulk or whoever.
Oh yeah.
Gets introduced before the movie, or like you said, in the movie makes the most sense. But there is still other Hulk related things happening that could lead to that as well.
Well, and then speaking of Hulk related things, right? Like this was like kind of a shocker. Tim Blake Nelson basically said, who we haven't seen in 14 years, who basically was becoming the leader, and it's actually going to be the leader.
So we brought this up in the episode where we were talking about the She-Hulk, right, with the blood, right? Because it seems like they're going to canonize, like obviously Abomination is canon, right? Yeah. Clearly they kept that. So him getting the blood drip onto his head and where his head starts to like swell up and get all crazy is canon apparently, and that it is in fact he is going to show back up as leader, which is great because I actually enjoy him as an actor. I think he would make a very good bad guy. Like I don't know a lot where he plays bad guys, but I can see him playing that very well, and that type of like smarter guy.
Okay. I'm looking at the pictures. I don't really remember this from that Hulk movie, but that Hulk, like it's been so long and it wasn't good. So, but that's cool. I did see his picture and it didn't mean anything to me, but now it does. That 2008 Hulk is definitely more relevant now than it has been, like you said, in 14 years.
They should just re-release it and just like digitally remove Ed Norton and just swap in. I don't know. I'm excited for that. What else about D23? I'm glad Brett brings up Mandalorian. I said, they dropped a good Mandalorian trailer too, right? So
yeah.
Excited for more. I'm glad that we're actually getting. I'm glad that they're labeling it Mandalorian and not trying to call it the Boba Fett stuff and then having a third of it be Mandalorian. But
just wait. Boba Fett season 2 is probably coming after Mandalorian.
I don't know, dude. People didn't really like it that much, so
it doesn't matter. Well, I think it goes back to the whole Hot Toys thing, right? Like I said,
there's enough people that want it.
People, I said, there's people that are vocal to say they don't like it, but there's enough people that watch it. I said, to where it justifies making it again.
Yeah, they'll kill it when they don't get the viewership.
Yeah,
good or bad, as long as you've watched all the episodes, like they don't care, right? It's that consumption.
Yeah, like they need to keep you hooked and reeled in.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited for it. I saw, like I said, there's a couple of little cameos in there. Like I said, one cameo, one surprise cameo from the the last Star Wars movie. We had the old Babu Frick. I said made the old cameo in the Mandalorian trailer. So for
That's
those of
cool.
you who don't know who Babu
The
Frick
little guy?
is, he was the competition to it's a little Grogu. In terms of like going for the cute factor. So like here I'm sharing, here's a little picture of him right here.
Yes, thank you. I needed a refresher. Yeah, that guy.
That little guy.
This little guy. Look at him. Look, yeah, this guy.
I like it. I mean, they should bring in more of those characters into that stuff. You know, it's made from the movies, because it's a lot of Clone Wars and that kind of stuff right now, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, there's opportunities to expand. You know, Babu Frick. Like, hey, why not?
Let's throw him in there. Let's bring him back.
That was an okay scene, I think. I don't remember.
Don't really remember much.
No, I mean, those movies weren't good, but that's all right. So that was Star Wars when they showed Ahsoka, right? Like they talked about that one a little bit. No trailer or anything, but then there's a trailer for Andor, because that comes out later this month.
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty good.
That one actually looks
Rebel spies, and
yeah.
you know, Rogue One was pretty good. It was kind of one of those I didn't need it movies, but it had its good moments. So I'm looking forward to see what this one's all about.
I do enjoy it, and I think it's going to be good, right? Because I did like Cassian Andor, right, as a character. Like,
yeah, he was fine.
He's when you talk about like what Han Solo is described as, is how he is, right? Like, let's just kill this person. Like, it's fine. I got what I needed. Like, it's gonna be hard for me knowing that like he's, you know, like his fate, I guess, to watch a series, because again, it takes away all suspense. You can never have him in danger, right? Because we know he doesn't die. Like,
hey, correction, we know he doesn't die yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't love that part, but I mean, the trailer looked good enough. Just kind of digging more into the people who would have had to help with the rebellion that weren't, you know, Princess Leia or Mon Mothma. You know, like it involved a lot of people. So it's cool. More spies, and it should be kind of cool.
I very much enjoyed Rogue One. I thought it's one of my favorite of the Star Wars films.
It's better than Last Jedi, and
it's a lot of
better
those.
Better than Solo. Better than
Like to be honest, their TV has knocked out the movies in terms of like what I think I enjoy more so, right?
And they I did see like you get 3 episodes day one, so I'm looking forward to that too.
That's always nice.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move for this one too. I mean, I don't know what the story arc is exactly, but like I think 3 episodes, like I'm gonna sit down and watch all 3 when it comes out September 21st.
Yeah, like that's the thing right now, right? There's so much going on in terms of like shows and TV, right? Like we got there's something that I totally forgot had dropped.
Which one?
Which is Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, that came out Friday, yesterday.
Like I said, I'm a huge Cobra Kai fan, and I totally forgot that it was on.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched it.
We started it. I think we're on like episode 3. It's good. It's Cobra Kai. It's you know, it's what you'd expect. So yeah, it's good. We'll have to talk about that another day. Scott, did you ever I know you weren't a big fan of season 1, and I don't think we ever really talked about it much. You haven't touched it again?
Nope. I watched like a couple episodes and said this is okay. So I'm gonna go back to another D23 thing here, kind of bring it back.
Fine.
But no, to be fair, they have the updated second trailer for the new Willow. We were just watching it before we went live, right?
Yeah.
That is a universe in which I'm like, that's cool. There's more to tell there. I think it's great. Like, let's have a sequel there, a TV show based off that 80s movie. Phenomenal, right? Like, good idea. You've had enough time in between to go through. I never saw a need to revisit.
But here's like
that's why it's so,
universe. That's why it's so great.
No, there's no interest in my mind to go back and watch that.
That's why it's so great, because I said they've taken it and they've stretched it so much to where like things that were just like never even gave a second thought of, it becomes a whole story arc, like in regards to something. I think that's because it's utterly ridiculous, but that's why it's great.
It is. This is season 5 or 6?
Season 5, yeah, season 5.
Yeah, which
so 5 seasons of. There are more seasons of the show than there are Karate Kid movies at this point.
Yeah,
well, I think the funny thing too, right, is that, like I said, this originally started on YouTube, and YouTube couldn't make it work.
That's what I was going to say. The fact that it survived YouTube Red, or whatever YouTube was calling their lame streaming service, that it got enough traction, that it's still around for 5 seasons. 50 episodes is just insane.
I wonder if they're all kicking themselves over that one for giving away that IP.
Yeah, I mean, they did. It didn't.
They're still pushing YouTube Red, so
is that still a thing?
No, YouTube Red's dead, isn't it?
I don't know.
Dude, they keep or whatever it's called now. Whenever you come onto YouTube now, it has the still
premium.
You want the no ads for premium or whatever. So
YouTube Red is no more. It officially died, I said, in 2018.
Okay. Yeah, but they still have YouTube Premium, which doesn't look like you get much. No. You get YouTube and YouTube Music ad free and offline. Cool. And in the background, right? I think on the app you can swipe up, so you can have the little box like you can do on like Netflix and stuff. So you can do other things on your phone, which is amazing because I can't do just one thing at a time. I need to be on Instagram and watching YouTube videos at the same time or whatever.
Well, it has that so you can like shut your phone off and the audio will still play.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's important for music. It's like a Spotify subscription.
Yeah. But for $12 a month, like that's all you get.
That's not worth $12, dude. That is not worth $12. No. I would pay $12 for a year of no ads.
Yeah,
but not
$1 a month. Yeah, true. Like at that point, it's a very small financial commitment. Yeah, I guess I'd be in for that. But
let's just say this: I pay less for an entire year of Paramount Plus than I would for 6 months of YouTube Premium, and I get an entire library of stuff.
Disney Plus, aren't they all cheaper than $12 a month? Like that's,
I think,
it is quite expensive.
Or at least, if not, they're pretty close. I think Netflix is my most expensive, and it's
probably
close to the 12, right? It's getting there.
Going up.
Keeps going up, and then like Hulu doesn't count because I have the local live TV package, so that one goes a little bit, but I get actual live TV from it. So
basic Netflix is $10. Yeah. With the only difference is the resolution, right? The quality is what goes up, right? 4K is $20, but basic $10, which is cheaper than YouTube Plus, but you get, even if it's content you don't watch all the time, you at least
get more. Yeah. Here's the thing is, I can watch the same stuff on YouTube. It doesn't give me access to more stuff.
No, exactly.
It just gives me no ads, which I'm not on YouTube that much where I'm like, the little like skipping after 10 seconds is like worth me not paying $12.
It's mildly annoying.
Yeah. A mild annoyance is not worth $12 a month for me. Again, you make that $12 a year.
Yeah,
$20 a year.
Or
$20 a year. I'm in.
Group it with other services. Like, give me some Google Cloud storage. Give me
give me a
do the Amazon thing.
Yeah, do the Amazon thing. Right. Give me a combo
Prime,
deal.
You can also get the photo server for free. You get Prime Video. You get all that stuff with your $100.
Yeah,
that's worth it.
All right, enough doubting on YouTube.
Another D23 thing, right?
Okay, good.
Did you guys check out the trailer for Werewolf by Night?
Yes.
Yeah.
We watched that too.
So weird. Yeah. I like it.
I love how they went with the 1950s black
Frankenstein,
and white, Frankenstein era movie, right? But then they have the clearly like fake animatronic like person that there. Cool. Yeah, I saw a man thing.
Yeah, I saw a man thing in there.
It just feels different than a lot of the other Marvel shows, which is great.
And that's, I think, what is needed. Like, I don't know if it's going to do well, but having a different style of show,
it looks cheesy and horrible. But I think, it's doing that on purpose. But it's doing that on purpose.
Lean into it. Lean into it,
and it leans into it exactly.
Yeah. And it kind of reminds me of and I just had my wife just watched this the other day because like she had never seen it, and we were thinking like, wanted like a funny movie, but we also wanted to maybe like watch a horror movie. So I busted out Willy's Wonderland, right? And she was like, "Why do I enjoy this so much? It is not a good movie." I was like, "Because it knows what it is, and it leans into it so hard that you're not upset that it's not a good movie. They know it's not a good movie, so they're gonna make it fun, and they lean into where you know it's gonna come out."
That's why I said that's why I'm looking forward to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, just because
right? They know what it is. They're gonna lean into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
it should be good. I wouldn't like it. It probably wasn't on my radar, other than the fact that it's a Marvel show. But yeah, that trailer, it looks surprisingly good. So
it's good.
Yeah,
we also have
it just looks just interesting, and so I'm like, okay, it's got me re-engaged. And then they dropped the trailer for Secret Invasion too.
Yeah, that looks really
good. And I was saying, like, so it they call it a teaser, but it's the length of a trailer. The problem I had with it is I still don't know what actually is going on in that, because with the trailer, right? Like,
it scrolls, man,
the scrolls, but you don't see it until the fucking end, right? Like,
yeah. Well, there's that one guy near the beginning who's sitting at a desk, and he's got all his people around him, and then they all become him. There's that one, right? So you kind of know.
You kind of see it, right? But like,
that looks like a fun scene.
But I think they're going to try to lean into the thing that it's not really the Skrulls or the bad guys again, right? Like, because again, they're going to have to describe they've been our friends for how long in this thing, and like even covering
Since
for
the 80s, I guess, at least.
Covering for Fury for a while, like, so what's happening that suddenly we have? Are there good factions and bad factions, and are they going to have like two different sets of shapeshifters fighting each other? Like, how is this going to work?
So I'm just also curious too, right? So because this takes place, I said, during the blip, right? But Fury got dusted during the blip.
Oh, so that's not Fury.
Well, then I'm like, then I start thinking, I'm like, hey, maybe it was like I said, the person who was, I said, impersonating, I said Fury, because like I said, Talos, right? Was
yeah.
But Ben Mendelsohn is in Secret Invasion, so I'm trying to figure out like how they're gonna
explain this,
or
I guess it could be anybody, and they decided that it's not the main guy.
Or is it not actually Fury, and it's a different Skrull pretending to be him, and that's why there's the war?
Or is it a different multiverse Fury?
Yeah,
there's a lot of options.
It's interesting, but I'm like, huh? Because I was actually surprised to see Ben Mendelsohn. I said show back up.
I didn't catch that.
I will say too, and there is not a clip of this yet on there, but there was, people have described it. So apparently some big stuff dropped in the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania clips that they showed. They showed one where all of them get pulled into the quantum realm, and they meet a version of Kang in the quantum realm, and he comments to Scott, he's like, "Haven't I killed you before?" And so he makes it so it's like a thing where it seems like he is potentially already have fought the Avengers and won. And they kind of had this clue of like,
like they sent him into the quantum realm or something.
Again, it could be that he lost in a different universe, right?
Yeah,
like it's multiverse, right? With Kang, so he could have already gone through and fought them. So an interesting little clip that they showed.
Yeah, when does that come out? Is that next? Like, or close to next?
February.
No, next is Black Panther.
Next is Black Panther. That's November.
Forever is November, and I think then Quantumania is after that.
Quantumania is next, and it's February, right around Valentine's Day.
Which I said, which is like I think the official start to Phase 5.
Okay,
Quantumania.
Right, I guess that makes sense. If they're going back to,
which I'm hoping for a refresh, because Phase 4 honestly kind of sucked. Like,
yeah, it was underwhelming, and that's why the first thing I thought of, when you mentioned Black Panther, I kind of had forgotten about it because we haven't heard too much, because they can't tell you much of the story because they don't want to tell you what happens, right? With T'Challa, so like I don't know if I'm in a hurry to go see that one. I don't know if that's bad.
And from what I've heard, apparently they don't really. They basically are like, yeah, everyone knows what happened. Like the actor died, and so we're just gonna it's not even going to be like a big plot point in the movie about him.
It's got to be the first 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and then it's move on. Like they're not going to
yeah.
put a whole big thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, a 5-minute tribute kind of thing is enough because to the character and to Chadwick Boseman, like both are deserving of some type of acknowledgement.
Like, here's the question I had, because for me, this is one of the times where I would say, like, dude, you know, it's okay to recast, right? Like, if you're just replacing it because you had a butthurt actor, it's one thing to be like, dude, just write the character out of the show, right?
Yeah.
But when you have a beloved character and the actor passes away, it's like, I think it's okay to recast. The fans will understand. People aren't going to be. You're not doing a disservice to the actor to be like, well, you're the only one that can ever play this character now, right? Like,
yeah,
it's worth it to say, like, you could have recasted and just been like, like, we didn't want to do this and we weren't planning on it, but here, this is what we recasted, or even just to kind of pass the torch. You have somebody else play them real quick. So I don't know. My thought was like, you could have recasted.
I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that and what this movie even looks like. But I don't know if I'm in a hurry to see it. I sort of regret seeing Thor: Love and Thunder on the first day because I felt like I had to go see it on the first day because I always go see Marvel movies on the first day. So I don't know. Do I go see Black Panther? I just looked, right? Thor: Love and Thunder is on Disney Plus now. It's only been 64 days since it was released in theaters. Like, can I wait 2 months to see Black Panther?
Throw some honesty up in the air here. I never went and saw Love and Thunder in the theaters because I knew within a couple months it would be on the streaming thing, and I'll just watch it there. I had no interest in going to the theater for it.
Yeah,
and so I'll just wait till it's free. So I'm going to watch it this weekend. That might be something I download for the plane. I
was going to do that too. Even though I've seen it, I was probably going to download it. Or Doctor Strange, because I haven't watched Doctor Strange in the multiverse one again. So I was probably going to watch those two.
That's kind of the way to go. So yeah, like, I will be honest, I probably won't go see a lot unless they're the big releases, like the Spider-Man one I went to in the theaters.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how much I'm going to be going to theaters, knowing that within 2 months it'll be on something that I've paid for to be able to watch movies on.
True.
So it's really hard now.
It's an interesting turn. Like, I didn't see that coming, but yeah, I don't know if I, have to go see this in the theater or definitely opening day.
I mean, I'm gonna have to say, like, theaters are gonna have to do something, man, because people are not going back.
No,
like in droves, like they were.
So we skipped last week. I took advantage of the Saturday night off, and we went to the movies. And we saw Top Gun Maverick because there was nothing else to see, and
nothing else.
And my wife wanted to see it. But did either of you guys see the new Top Gun movie?
No,
it's on demand now, so it is out there to watch at home as well. I did not enjoy the first one. Right, that was the origin of the Totally Red Movie podcast.
Which I had an idea about, by the way.
Okay, we'll talk.
But yeah.
Right, that was the origin. It was okay. Like, I had never seen it. I don't think that seeing it for the first time in 2020 was the right way to do it. But Top Gun Maverick was a great movie. Like, I really liked it. I was very surprised. It was way better than the first one. So yeah, it's on demand. Scott, I believe your wife says she wants to see it. You guys will have to we'll have to wash your hands with soap.
We'll have to wash our hands with soap. Yep.
And check it out. It is, I highly recommend it, which is very surprising for me for a Top Gun movie. Yeah, you got to check it out. All right, cool. Anything else before we
I don't think so. Larry, do your thing.
All right, cool. Well, if you enjoyed today's podcast, you should follow us on Instagram. We are at STS Guys. We are also on Twitter at STS Guys. And guess what? We're on Facebook at the STS Guys. And I'm Larry from the STS Guys.
Shilling like a villain.
Shilling like a villain.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, hi, Nate. If you like coffee, or if you like rad hats like Scott's wearing, you should check out Lost Astronaut Coffee Company. That's right, Lost Astronaut Coffee Company. Not only do they have delicious coffee, they have extremely cool merch. If you use the link in our YouTube description or in our Instagram bio, you'll save on your first order. Lost Astronaut Coffee Company. It's the best.
It's the
It's the
best.
And if you like podcasts, you should check out some of our friends who have podcasts.
I don't have friends. I got family.
That's right. Check out our podcast family. This list is getting smaller, but I'm not gonna chop it up yet. But Talking Pops, we're like they're kind of done, right? Pop Collectors Alliance, they haven't podcasted since March. It's been 6 months.
Ooh.
They might have to fall off the list. Sorry, Piper and Rick. Secondary Heroes, the Average Nerd Podcast, still going strong. Nerdy Curious, Movie Retakes. I think Movie Retakes is still a thing. Toy Rewind Podcast, shout out to those guys. That's definitely still a thing. Episode 100 dropping next week. We got to try to remember to catch the live Wednesday 100th episode live on Twitch. I gotta try to catch that. 3 beers and a mic. Cookie, just a little podcast, and of course Raw Boys featuring Mike and Josh from Talking Pops. I think there's 5 episodes out there now, so if you like Hell's Kitchen, definitely go check out Raw Boys.
Gotta check out the Raw Boys.
Yeah. Anything Mike and Josh does is a good time.
All right.
What's it?
So,
Jeremy, do your thing.
For episode 224 of the STS Guys, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the STS Guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.